Okay, good evening everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight is like one of my favorite topics about food. I am all about the food, and I'm going to talk to you about anti-aging and food, because how many of us want to look younger? Okay, and how many want to feel younger? One person is happy the way she is. That's awesome. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm very busy. I'm an attorney. I do health coaching. I'm a yoga instructor, so I have a lot going on. So with my busy lifestyle, if I can do this, anybody can do it. So I'm going to show you some things to kind of make it easier. So when we talk about anti-aging, most of us think about the skin and how we look. And that's really important, because the skin kind of is a reflection of what's going on inside. But also, it's like what's going on inside of your body. Your body inside is aging, and inflammation is going on, and there's things that you can't see, and people are getting degenerative diseases and cancer and all sorts of things, heart disease, and it's because of the aging on the inside. So what we want to do is we want to try and fix this from the inside. And so what I have is different strategies and different things that I use for an anti-aging diet. And so everyone eats multiple times a day, and you have this gradual effect with all the food that you put in your body. So if you're going to be eating French fries and you know, hamburgers and fried foods, it's going to eventually show in your body. You know, you don't go eat a hamburger and French fries and your chocolate shake and then look in the mirror and see, oh, you know, I could tell I've had this. It's over time. Well, it's the same thing with the anti-aging diet. It's over time. You're going to feel better over time. You're going to look younger. Your skin's going to be clearer. You're going to have less wrinkles, because your cells are going to get the nutrients that they need, and so therefore your skin's going to look better. So what we need to do is think about what's going on. We hear a lot about oxidation and inflammation, and we need to think about what we're doing to our bodies every time that we eat. Because that's what we need to do. We need to stop the free radical damage. We need to stop the aging process from the inside out. So a lot of us go into the grocery store and we look at the label and we don't know what the heck that label says. There's chemicals on there that are a mile long. Can't pronounce them. And so my rule of thumb, and we're going to go through about 10 rules, is if you don't know what's in your food, don't buy it. And when you look at what has been happening in our culture and with our food and the food companies, first of all, the food companies don't care about your health. What they care about is your money. And so they're not designing a product that's going to necessarily benefit your health. They're going to make it so it tastes good. They're going to make it so you want to buy more of it, so therefore they get more of your money. When you look at what's going on with commercials and things like that, trans fats, for example, trans fats were the greatest health food. Back in 1911, I think, is when Crisco first came out, and it was heart healthy. It was you know, this unsaturated fat, and it was marketed this way, and it was told to us even by the FDA, this is a heart healthy food. Well, come to find out that nothing could be further from the truth. This heart healthy food was causing over 300,000 deaths a year from heart disease. And so we know this now, but the FDA, even though the FDA knows it, it's still on the market. You can still buy it. It's still there. It's being phased out over time. And why is it being phased out? because it's better for the food companies, you know, the manufacturers. It's better for them in their processing and their formulation. It's better for them to phase it out over time than, you know, it is for us in our health. So don't trust the latest and greatest health food out there. There's tons of examples of these wonderful health foods, and you know, the FDA will promote it as a health food. For example, saccharin. That was another great one. And then we find out that nope, not so great after we're being experimented on. So number one rule, if you don't know what's in your food, don't buy it. Look at the labels. Whatever it is, look at the label. If you don't know what it is, if you can't pronounce it, it's probably a good bet that you shouldn't be eating it. So just put it back on the shelf. And then rule number 2 is eat organic. I am such a big proponent of organic for so many reasons, but one huge reason is when you buy things that are processed conventionally, those products are used with petroleum-based fertilizers and petroleum-based herbicides and pesticides. And so we don't want that stuff in our bodies. But washing a fruit or a vegetable isn't necessarily going to get those chemicals off because the plants are grown with that. Plus, those plants aren't as healthy as an organic plant. When you go to get something that's organic, the organic farmer understands to care for the soil. They understand how to care for the plant, how to grow certain crops in conjunction with each other so that you have a healthy plant. That's not what's happening when you buy conventionally grown produce. So rule number 3 is eliminate gluten. Okay, we're hearing a lot about gluten lately, and there's a lot of gluten-free options out there. So a couple of things to talk to you about gluten. There's celiac disease, which is common, but it's not that common. Most people don't have celiac disease, and it can be a debilitating autoimmune disease that's triggered by gluten. There's another condition that most people aren't aware of, and it's called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And this can be more detrimental than celiac disease because the people that have that condition don't really realize it. They might have an autoimmune condition and not realize that it's being triggered by the gluten. And I have a client that has a lot of allergies and gets congested. Well, it's triggered every time she eats gluten. You wouldn't necessarily put those two things together. Or people that have thyroid issues. A lot of times it's triggered by the gluten because the molecules are similar, and the body wants to attack the gluten protein that shouldn't be in the bloodstream, and it ends up attacking the thyroid. So you want to be careful with gluten. Plus, the gluten of today and the wheat products of today are way different than the gluten and wheat products even 40 years ago. These products, the wheat has been hybridized and grown so it has certain qualities, so it's better for the food manufacturer. They'll grow it so that when they make the bread or the pastry or whatever it is, it might be lighter or fluffier. And so it's just a different product than it was back 40 years ago. So eliminate the gluten. Okay, rule number 4, ditch the soda. And I think most of us already know that, but I put also in this category those flavored drinks, the sports drinks. Ditch the sports drinks. Gatorade and those types of drinks are being promoted as, you know, a healthy way to replace the electrolytes, and it's really not. They're really bad for you. They've got so many chemicals. Look at the package. Read the package. Look if they have food coloring. A lot of people have sensitivities to the food colorings, but most food colorings also are petroleum based. So there's no need to have anything artificial like that in your food. And so sports drinks, this is the first thing I want to talk to you guys about. And I have a recipe here on the screen, and also you have it on your handout, is I make my own sports drink. And I just buy these powders. You can buy them at Mother's Market or Whole Foods. Goji powder, pomegranate powder, acai powder, and this is a new one that I just found, maqui powder. And
Monkey?
M-A-Q-U-I. And the reason why I love these powders is that they replace the electrolytes. And they've got vitamin C, they've got antioxidants. This one's got fiber, and all of us could probably use a little bit more fiber throughout the day. This one's got iron, but it's a bioavailable iron. And so if you don't need the iron, your body's going to be eliminating it. It's not going to be the iron that you get in most supplements that are iron shavings that are going to really muck up your system. So mix all of these. A great thing to do is to mix it also with coconut water. And this also has electrolytes, the coconut water. It's wonderful for replacing electrolytes. So I love this because it adds flavor to the water. And some of the complaints that I hear, you know, people are trying to drink more water, but they don't like water because they're so used to having something with flavor in it. So this flavors the water, and it's a really nice, pleasant tasting flavor. Now, one thing I did want to talk to you about is my experience with yoga. So I take hot yoga, and I do probably about 5-6 classes a week. So hot yoga, you're like sweating. And one of the things that happened to me is I was noticing that I was feeling a little bit depressed. And I couldn't understand, like, there's nothing that happened in my life that would justify me being depressed. And I couldn't figure it out. You know, I have a good diet, and it didn't make sense. And then it dawned on me that I had been taking so many classes and sweating so much, and I was drinking a lot of water, but I wasn't replacing the electrolytes. And that can trigger depression, you know, feelings of depression. And so once I started working on replacing the electrolytes, that depression feeling lifted. So one of the things that it says up here, if you have low sodium, potassium, and magnesium, but high calcium, that can trigger depression. If you have high sodium, potassium, and magnesium, but low calcium, then that can trigger irritability. So, you know, if you're working out a lot, if you're sweating, you know, summertime, be aware of your intake of electrolytes. It's really important. It can affect you on an emotional level as well. So rule number 5 is swearing off high fructose corn syrup. And we've heard so many things about high fructose corn syrup. Not one of them has been good. One of the biggest things is that they use genetically modified corn in order to make it. And so you might be careful reading your package, and you might say, okay, all these ingredients are good. High fructose corn syrup, okay, it's only one thing, maybe I'll get it. And if you do that, and I'm not reading this package doesn't have that, but if you do that, you are going to be getting genetically modified foods. So you don't want to go down that route. If it's high fructose corn syrup, just put it back on the shelf. It's just not worth it. And then there's other products as well. Canola oil, certain types of squash have it. Beets, that's another thing. Sugar beets a lot of the sugar beets are genetically modified. So you want to be careful. Also, hidden sources of GMO is you want to call the manufacturer sometimes on your vitamins. Unless you have professional grade vitamins and you know where they're coming from, some of them are made with genetically modified corn and other products.
So GMO is genetically
Yeah.
modified?
Organism. Yeah. Okay, rule number 6. Again, we talked about never eat anything that's genetically modified, and I talked a bit about that. So the high fructose corn syrup and the GMO kind of go hand in hand. GMO is much more broad because you will find that in all sorts of things, like I talked about the oil. So you might buy a product or look at a product and it has canola oil. Chances are it's genetically modified. So just put that back on the shelf. Anything that's corn, unless it says organic, put it back on the shelf. It's just not worth it. So rule number 7, drink plenty of water. But again, make sure you're replacing your electrolytes. I'm not saying that everything, every glass of water you drink has to have electrolytes in it, but make sure there's a balance there. Make sure you're getting the electrolytes, but make sure you drink the water. And when you mix the water with other things, I hear people say, well, I have coffee. Okay, well, coffee dehydrates you. So that does not count as a glass of water. Things with caffeine end up dehydrating you. So if you're going to be having teas and things like that, though not herbal teas, but caffeinated teas, they will tend to dehydrate you. So make sure you replenish. Rule number 8 is supplementing with enzymes. And you know how I am about enzymes. Enzymes are the spark of life. So nothing can happen in your body. You can't blink an eye. You can't smile. You can't do anything without enzyme activity. So as we get older, our body, kind of wears down in certain ways. We start developing issues, and we want to help the body as much as we can. So we want to supplement with digestive enzymes. So every time I eat, I take a digestive enzyme to help me digest the food, so then my body can then work on making metabolic enzymes so that everything is running properly inside my body. Okay, rule number 9 is incorporating a lot of fresh leafy green vegetables. So a great way to do this is smoothies. And I have a recipe on here that is a great one of my absolute favorites. It's the mango cucumber cilantro smoothie. It is very refreshing. Love, love, love this smoothie. And one of the things that I do in the morning is I have a smoothie for breakfast, and then I have smoothies throughout the day. I usually have 2 more because I'm always on the go. And so when I make the smoothie, because I'm on the go, I like to use frozen fruit because it keeps the smoothie cold. And I know it's not as ideal as, just drinking it right fresh on the spot, but, this is our society. We have to plan around your lifestyle. So make smoothies, and you can get a lot more greens in a blender than you can sit there eating a salad. So here's my recipe for the smoothie. Sometimes I'll even add pineapple to it, because pineapple is just really yummy, and it's summertime, and pineapple and summer go together. So rule number 10 is eat an antioxidant-rich diet. So antioxidants, what they do is they help combat the inflammation. And what I want to show you, a lot of people say that, well, you know what, I can't do it because I'm on the go, I can't have a healthy lifestyle. let me just go to McDonald's and I'll get a salad from McDonald's. Well, have you ever seen the salads at McDonald's? They're beautiful because they're coated, the lettuce is coated with a waxy substance so it doesn't wilt or anything. So it's going to be pretty and beautiful. And the same thing with their apples. I don't know if you've ever seen the apples. Their apples never get brown. You ever wonder why their apples don't get brown? It's because they have chemicals to make them pretty. So, and plus, if you look at the calories on a salad, a McDonald's salad, they're pretty high. It's not a health food. So what I've done is I made some stuff ahead of time just because we're going to talk about some of this food here. But I made the salad dressing that is on your sheet, and I want to show you what you can do. This is a really delicious salad dressing. It's got cilantro in here. It's got avocado in here. And who doesn't love avocado on their salad? But nobody wants to eat avocado when it's been oxidized and sitting out and brown. So mix it in with the salad dressing. The salad dressing also has what was the other thing the salad dressing has? Lemon. And so the lemon actually helps preserve it so it doesn't get brown and oxidized. So then what you do, you get a jar, you put in your salad dressing on the bottom, and then tomato. Tomato, I love tomato in my salad. And so you put tomato, and you put like all the kind of gushy stuff more at the bottom. I have cut up here some bell pepper and some celery. So you put some bell pepper and celery in here. And I'm probably going to pack this way too high. But all the things that you think of that you want for your salad. Now I want to show you some of the stuff that I use to make making this food easier at home. So I absolutely love this. This is called the Salad Master Machine, and love, love, love this thing. This is a carrot. It makes it so simple to just shred the carrot. No effort whatsoever to shred the carrot. So you just put the shredded carrot in here, and then you put your lettuce in. And I think this is going to be your dinner, Dr. Bergman. And if you like nuts or little dried fruit, cranberries or anything like that, I like to put those on the top because I don't like them mushy. So what you do is you just put it all in a jar, put it in the refrigerator, and it's ready to go. So when you're ready to eat, you can just get your plate, you can put out. If you want, you can, I don't know how you're going to stir it all in there, but this is just a great way to make your life easier. And you can do this ahead of time, and you can add these ingredients and do a few jars and then just pull them out of the refrigerator. So I love this. You can do this with fruit. You can do this with all sorts of things, and just take it with you, and you have your delicious lunch. It's going to be a lot healthier, a lot cheaper, and you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So this is like one of my favorite things. So then let's say you want to make a good healthy, where am I going to put this? You want to make a good, healthy pasta. This is another little machine that, for me, it's a blast. I love this thing. And it's so simple. And if you have kids, they're going to have fun playing around with it. And just one little zucchini is going to go a long way. You just put your zucchini on here and you just rotate it. And it's super simple. And here you have some spaghetti. And it's good for you. And like I said, this was just one little zucchini that we have here. And this is a great way to get kids and grandkids and whoever involved in preparing the food, you know, because who doesn't like to, you know, have fun with the food. So, so this is awesome. And then what you do, I don't know if we have a way to give samples. I'll just use this dressing. Oops. Normally I use the, normally I'll use a pesto dressing instead of, I'll use basil instead of the cilantro. But here you have this, and then if you like, sprinkle some carrots on top, whatever vegetables, and it's simple, it's easy.
It's too big.
I don't know if there's, here, I'll do this too, but I'll have enough of the smoothie that we can give. So anyway, another thing that I love to do with this, because a lot of people ask me, you know, what do I eat and how do I do it? So what I'll do is I will make a big batch of just shredded vegetables, and I'll have jicama, I'll have different things, and I'll have different shredded vegetables, and I'll leave it like this, and I won't put a dressing in it. And then when I come home, I'll make a wrap, and I'll put either, because I love pico de gallo, so I'll put pico de gallo in it for the flavor, or I'll put some hummus. One of my favorite hummus is the cayenne raw hummus. And so what I'll do is I'll just grab, you know, some of that, I'll put it in my wrap, and I've got dinner. And this can keep for quite a while. Now, on the subject of buying food and having it keep for a while, colloidal silver. How many people use colloidal silver in the kitchen? Okay, so what I do is I go to farmer's market, and every Saturday, my favorite place Saturday morning. I hate to throw away food. It just irritates me. And there's certain things that go bad quicker than others, like cilantro goes bad quick, basil will kind of go bad quick, and I hate going in the refrigerator. I'm all excited to make whatever I'm going to make, and it's not good anymore. So what I do is I get a spray bottle, I put my colloidal silver in a spray bottle, and I spray my greens with the colloidal silver. This will make your greens last days longer, a lot fresher, and make it last longer. And then when I pull out my greens and I'm ready to use them, I'll just wash my greens off and use them for whatever I'm going to use them for. So this stuff I love. I know it's expensive. I make my own, but you don't use a lot, and if you put it in a spray bottle, it's, you know, it's going to go a long way. So
Where do you get that?
colloidal silver, you can get this at Mother's Market, you can get it at Whole Foods, you can make it yourself. So anyway, that is one of my little favorite secret weapons. So now let's do a smoothie. So every morning I got my coconut smoothie. So this, I went out and I bought a really good one. And it's worth it because it will last. And it's the same with all of this stuff. So the blender, you want to invest in a good one. I bought the cheap ones and, you know, 60 bucks a pop, and I used to put ice and all sorts of things. And I noticed that I was, you know, burning out that motor every few months. So I thought, okay, let me invest in the BlendTech blender. I love this one for a few reasons. One, it's got a 10-year warranty on the motor. It's expensive, but when I calculated how much I was spending on blenders, it's a steal. The other thing is I use my blender probably 2 or 3 times a day, so I'm using it a lot. But the reason I like this brand is the size of it. It fits under the counter. And since I use it a lot, I'm not going to be sticking it under the counter and then pulling it back up. I just leave it on the counter, and you can stick it underneath and it fits under. So that's why I prefer this one. There's other brands out there that are good, but this is my favorite. So what you do, again, there's so many different ways. You got to figure out what works for you if you're going to open up your own coconut. I have seen people shave off the top, which I don't understand. It's extra effort. Why? I see people tear off the plastic. Why? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm into efficiency. So what I do, and this sounds worse because it's on this table, but it's really not that bad. And actually, I don't think I was able to. No, I'm going to have to hit it some more. There. All right. Okay. So you got the coconut water. And then my other favorite little tool, it's called the Coconut Buddy. And I love this because it just gets right in between the shell of the coconut and the meat, and it just easily comes right out. Sometimes you get a coconut that's got the really, really thick meat in there, and it's hard to get out, but with the Coconut Buddy it's a lot easier. So scoop out the coconut meat, and let's see. Another thing I do, if I don't have a lot of water and I want a larger smoothie, what I'll do sometimes is I'll just add more water so that it goes further. And then I use Sun Warrior protein. I love this one because it's vegan. I love it because it's sprouted, and the flavor is just very nice, mild vanilla flavor. It is sweetened with stevia, but most products that are flavored with stevia, I taste the stevia and I don't like it. This one, I don't taste the stevia. It just has a really nice flavor. So I will put in the coconut powder, and then the raw cacao, which chocolate makes everything better, don't you guys think? I love chocolate. So I'll have, like every morning, I will have my coconut shake. And I like to have the coconut shake in the morning because it's got the good fats and it helps keep you going throughout the day. So I'm going to turn this on, and it's going to be loud for a minute. Okay. That should be plenty blended. Another thing that you can do, I want to talk to you about this guy, is how many people are a little bit intimidated about making nut milks? Has anyone done nut milks? Okay. Can you, I don't know if there's enough.
There's not.
We can, you want to add water? Because we can add water to it.
Do you want to blend it again?
Yeah, I'll have to blend it again. Just a little bit. Like, what was that?
How much did you add?
Oh, the cocoa? I'm not stingy, so I did like, I think a huge tablespoon. And I'll open another thing at this. Or a little bit more. But you just do it to taste. You know, that's the thing. What's going to taste good to you, because then you'll eat it. I am not into eating health food that tastes terrible. I'm into eating health food that really tastes good, and I love my food. So, okay. See if that one's better.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so back to nut milk. So how many people here have thought about nut milks, but you're just a little bit like, you don't want to do it? Does anyone?
Do you mean almond milk and coconut milk?
Almond.
Oh, yeah, we drink it.
You buy it though. Have you ever made it?
No.
Simple, 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 simple to make it. So you'll hear people talk about recipes about nut milk, and you'll hear them talk about, okay, you got to get your almonds, and you got to soak them, and you got to put them in the blender, and then you've got to get a nut milk bag. And it's like, oh my God, I'm tired already. I don't want to do all of that. So you do need to soak your almonds. Make sure they're raw. If you're going to buy them at the grocery store, even though they say they're raw, they're going to be pasteurized. That's California law. They have to be pasteurized. So go to a farmer's market. Get them online or things like that. So what you do is you soak your nuts, whatever your nuts are, soak your nuts. Drain them, rinse them off really well. Get them, I put them in the pitcher with spring water. And what you do is you just run them through the juicer. The nut milk comes out on this side. The pulp comes out on this side, and it's dry. Way drier than if you're going to be squeezing out of a nut milk bag. And so you can use the flour in other recipes. So I love this machine for that, which I also use it for juicing as well. So I'll use this for like root juices, like carrot juice. Carrot's another one. When you have carrot juice and you're making a lot of carrot juice, you're going to have a lot of pulp. When you have the pulp, you can use that in recipes. So anyway, these are like some of my favorite things that I use. Couple little last things I didn't mention. MSM is something that's really good. You can put MSM in with your electrolyte drink. Just be warned, MSM tastes terrible. So you want to be careful on how much you add, or get it in capsules and just take it in capsules. But I have it in powder form. A couple.
Gin, huh? No gin.
What was that?
No gin.
No gin. No. A couple other things is you can incorporate using essential oils. So if you want, for example, a minty tasting water, put a couple drops of essential oil in here. You can even make a chocolate mint smoothie and put a couple drops of the essential oil in your coconut smoothie. And another thing that you can do to help with the electrolytes and trace minerals is a product called Cell Food. And they have Cell Food at Mother's Market, and they have it at Whole Foods, but this is something that's really good. You just put a few drops in your water and you drink that throughout the day. So we need to have fun with our food, and I have fun with my food. I just have a blast with this. Oh, a couple other things. I think I got this at Fern's Nutrition. Here's another really cool thing about this product is it has different blades. So this one is for making the skinnier zucchini noodles. They have another one that is for larger, and then they have just a flat one. And this flat one you can use for all sorts of things, but I like to make onion bread, and chopping up onions isn't the most fun thing, but when I use this, the onions come out like paper thin, perfect for the onion bread, and again, little to no effort, which I'll put this back later. Oh, and then this Salad Master machine also comes with different cones, and so you can do different things with it. So this is another fun thing. Jicama, how many people like jicama? Jicama, I love jicama, but jicama is kind of hard to cut because it's so thick. This thing, simple. It just shreds it up. So simple. So these are some of my favorite recipes that I have. And again, this is time to like take care of ourselves with our food. You know, start thinking about our food. Make it simple for yourself. I don't like things to be difficult, so these things make my life so much easier. So, as I said, I'm an attorney and I do a lot of different things. I help people with plans for vaccine exemptions, birth plans, legal advice for healthcare practitioners, and I do personal injury. So, you know, unfortunately people get into car accidents or things like that. I help people in that. And I also have my own coaching practice with health and nutrition and enzyme therapy. So thank you very much. And I'm so glad everyone came out tonight, and I hope you had some fun. Thank you.